Is President Obama doing a better job at fighting the war on terror than George W. Bush? Well, a recent survey shows that a segment of the population thinks so.
Joining us live to talk more about this is Terrorism Fellow with Rice University, Joan Neuhaus Schaan. We thank you so much for being with us this morning, Joan. Give us your opinion on this first before we get into it.
Well, I think President Bush did a superb job of handling a monumental task that in some regards blindsided him only 10 months into his presidency. In very short order, after the second plane hit the World Trade Center, he successfully orchestrated the identification of the perpetrators, the defining of the threat, establishment of a framework to handle the threat, and pursuit of the persons and organizations half a world away that were involved. And I think President Bush's efforts were tireless in that he used every tool available to him to protect the United States and its citizens. And much of this had to be done from scratch. And the groundwork that was laid in the first few months has served as a foundation for many successes in the decade that followed, including the raid on the bin Laden compound on May 1st. And while pursuing the perpetrators, President Bush also initiated the campaign of public diplomacy under Karen Hughes. And President Obama has continued these efforts, but he did not initiate them.
Sounds like a tag team effort on their part.
Yes, most definitely. And I think this is comparing apples to oranges, because President Obama had years on the sidelines to consider the terrorism threat prior to coming to office. So I don't think that you can compare the lay of the land of one president versus the other when they came into office.
Why do you suppose international global investors, as it were voting that Obama would have that distinction of being the best in this fight? Is there some interest that we're not seeing in that?
I think that what they are seeing are the benefits of the public diplomacy program that started near the end of President Bush's administration. And they didn't really take root and get to a point where they were noticed by global investors until President Obama had come into office.
All right. Thanks very much. Very enlightening. A fellow with Rice University, Joan Neuhaus Schaan there at Rice here in Houston.